speaking of big companies and small companies, Carl, now when did you graduate?
Like the end of the year, December 2023.
Okay, nice. So now you have
well.
an internship and then a semester and then you graduate.
Yep. Yeah.
Do you want to work for FAANG, big corporation, or do you want to go for a startup vibe?
Well, that's the thing. Like, I've never actually experienced what FAANG company.
You're about to.
Yeah, you're about to.
I'm about to, right? And I've heard a lot of like shitty stories. Like your experience was shitty. I've also heard a lot of good experiences, right? So I want to kind of have my own personal experience, see how it goes.
Of course.
The team is gonna help a lot with me kind of picking my route, whether I want to stay or not. But well, they're also gonna have their say, right? They're gonna give me the return offer or not. But there's definitely more kind of learning, I would imagine, in average to be in a startup than to be in a FAANG company.
Yeah, definitely.
Because your hands are like so like dirty into here and there, so it gets you more exposure, I would say, to the go pace.
I agree, but at the same time, working for a big corporation, you understand how like an established, because all these companies, the big companies.
Thing. If you're in a big company, you don't learn how. That part, you don't learn about that part. Like, let me tell you about the actual differences between a startup and a FAANG or a big company. So at Amazon, like, you have a lot of tools, like a lot of in-house built tools that help you as a dev and, you know, like increase your productivity. They have like this, I'm not going to talk about the tools, they're endless, but literally they have their own Stack Overflow. Stack Overflow is like, it's like a forum where whenever you don't find an answer, you just go there and you'll definitely find the answer.
Don't you think these are like, I want to say, technical skills that these softwares and these...
Oh yeah, you have to know how to Google. Of course.
Yeah, like these are skills
it's
that
like 90% of the fucking job.
It's like 90% of the job, like fucking command C, command V.
Do you learn these in startups as well?
Well, that's the thing. No, like Googling?
No, not Googling, but like all these different type of KPIs and things you do at big companies that honestly small companies don't even have the resources.
The thing is, at big companies, the problem with big companies is, it's not a problem, but you're very narrowed down. You're a very small cog in a big ass machine, and you're just focused, and you're working on with your team on a small thing that might not be very impactful, and then you have to wait for you have to work at a big company for I don't know how long until you get promoted, until you get more responsibility, until you get placed on a very nice impactful project. So yeah, that's my point of view. Like, even though you have a lot of tools, you have a lot of resources in your pocket at a big company, you're still not going to be very impactful in terms of like the projects you're working on or you're put on, because companies very well established. They're just like finding shit to work on. Like create this to do this to like monitor this, even though it doesn't have any valuable impact.
Right.
It's nice to have.
That's a very interesting point that you bring, because I hear a lot of I know a lot of people that start off in FAANG companies but go down to startups after that.
Everyone does.
I feel like that's the smartest though.
You get your technical experience. Yeah. You get all the thing like, oh, they built it that way. That's interesting. They built it that way. That's interesting.
They've already learned what not to do and what to do.
But the thing is, when you're working with microservices, we're working with a lot of stuff at a company like, for example, Amazon. You don't get to see, for example, how everything gets connected and works. Yeah, you're just working on a very narrowed down thing. Like, I was on a team that was responsible for monitoring availability for a smaller thing that's part of a small thing that's part of big thing that's part of a DynamoDB. Like, I had a shit ton of managers that get to, like, I was maybe 7, 8, or 9 layers down in the chain until I get to the director of DynamoDB, for example.
Right.
But on the other hand, like, I was a deliverer. My manager's manager reports to the CEO.
Right, so you add more kind of access to whatever
you're working on
happening.
impactful shit.
You have more visibility as
well. You have more visibility, yeah.
If there's 3 layers above you, okay, you talk to your manager, you have an idea or something. Okay, you do like a demo, you talk to his manager, you're already up there.
Yeah. And the nice thing about it is, it's a company that is still small. Not a lot of things are implemented, so the projects that are being prioritized are impactful. Like, people are going to actually see those from cross teams, unlike FAANG companies. So for example, I'm working on Like, for example, one of the projects I worked at was address validation, which is something that's not actually implemented anywhere because it's very like specific in our use case. So I worked on enabling our system to validate an address, whether it's a good address to ship to. So like this block right here, if this doesn't exist, everything falls down. You can't deliver anything. You don't know if I give you this address, how do you know that you can deliver there? You don't know. So like the projects that you work on are fucking huge.
So that's what happens when I put the wrong address, right?
Jimmy, you fucked up, man.
Yeah, exactly. So it's pretty interesting. Like each one has pros and cons. But the thing is, for example, in startups, a lot of things are just like, just not implemented yet, or like not a lot of tools are in your disposal, or for example, some stuff are not implemented well because it's a startup, it's fast paced. So you run into a lot of bugs. For example, on the project I'm currently working on, it took me 2 days to test something that I had 1 day to develop. Like I worked on something implementation wise, took me 1 day. It took me 2 days to test it because not everything was set up. An API from a different team was crashing, which was relying on this, which was relying on that. Tokens were expiring. It's like not very well structured, even though it works. So this needs time to become well stable, like big companies.
Right.
So pros and cons. Pros, impactful projects, interesting. You learn a lot. You have your own stage to come up with ideas. For example, I came up with like an idea not a long time ago, and now like Q2, I'm gonna start working on that. Like you have more ownership over your project. I feel like
the risks are higher though.
But that's nice.
Yeah, it's part of the process. If there's any time to take risks, it's now when we don't have anything to lose. Like if there's something that I want to pursue but it's risky, I would bet everything I have right now on it because I don't have anything.
Yeah,
we're still so young. We don't have anything.
It's also fun, man. Like there's this fun factor to it where you just want to like put yourself in that risky mode, because life is all about fun, right? Like you don't want to just make money. Like okay, just if you press a button and make money every day without doing anything, I wouldn't want to press that button.
Stuck in the matrix.
Stuck
in the matrix.
Well, come on. Like I'm down to just press a button and get one. But like that's technically software engineering though.
Well,
buttons.
Well, it depends on the team. Yeah.